Hello, today we'll read Joshua chapter 5. In chapter 4 it was about they came out from, they crossed the Jordan by on foot and by dry ground because the Jordan was cut off when the Ark of the Covenant with the priest carrying it crossed the Jordan. The Jordan had been cut off, and it was a miracle. And let's see now. After that, they made a reminder of that. God told them to take 12 rocks and to make something like a memorial that the generation to come, who will come to know that God has done that, and that miracle. Now let's see what's next in the chapter 5. Now when all the Amorite kings west of the Jordan and all the Canaanite kings along the coast heard how the Lord had dried up the Jordan before the Israelites until we had crossed over, their hearts melted and they no longer had the courage to face the Israelites. Wow, look what attitude. So it was not just a miracle that they crossed the Jordan, but that thing, they put fear on all the enemies, all the Canaanites and the Amorite kings who needed to be defeated. At that time the Lord said to Joshua, "Make flint knives and circumcise the Israelites again." So Joshua made flint knives and circumcised the Israelites at Gibeah. Now this is why he did so. All those who came out of Egypt, all the men of military age, died in the desert on the way after leaving Egypt. All the people that came out had been circumcised, but all the people born in the desert during the journey from Egypt had not. Wow. How it happened that? They had Moses with them and they didn't circumcise their children. Even if Moses told them all the laws, it's very weird. The Israelites had moved about in the desert 40 years until all the men who were of military age when they left Egypt had died, since they had not obeyed the Lord. For the Lord had sworn to them that they would not see the land that he had solemnly promised their fathers to give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. So he raised up their sons in their place, and these were the ones Joshua circumcised. They were still uncircumcised because they had not been circumcised on the way. And after the whole nation had been circumcised, they remained where they were in camp until they were healed. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Today I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from you." So the place had been called Gilgal to this day. On the evening of the 14th day of the month, while camped at Gilgal on the plains of Jericho, the Israelites celebrated the Passover. The day after the Passover, that very day, they ate some of the produce of the land, unleavened bread and roasted grain. The manna stopped the day after they ate this food from the land. There was no longer any manna for the Israelites, but that year they ate of the produce of Canaan. The manna stopped the day after they ate this food from the land. Maybe even after passing the Jordan, they still had manna. Or, I don't know, but the manna stopped the day after they ate this food from the land. There was no longer any manna for the Israelites. But that year they ate of the produce of Canaan. For them it was a miracle too, for they changed their food menu. They were living all the time with manna, and now something happened and they ate the food from the land. Yeah, they had some animals, lamb and goats and cows and cattle and goats, but still they had no fruits. Here is a description, but still there is no, it's on the title. I don't know if it's no verse, it's just after crossing the Jordan River, the Israelites begin to conquer Canaan. Jericho is the first to fall. Then Israel suffers its first defeat. It's not yet. I didn't read that yet. Now, let's continue. Now when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him with a drawn sword in his hand. Joshua went up to him and asked, "Are you for us or for our enemies?" "Neither," he replied, "but as commander of the army of the Lord I have now come." Then Joshua fell face down to the ground in reverence and asked him, "What message does my Lord have for his servant?" So who was that? An angel? God himself or Jesus Christ, or I don't know. The commander of the Lord's army replied, "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy." Oh, like when God met Moses first time, God told him to do that too. And now look at Joshua. For the place where you are standing is holy. So it's saying that the place, the Canaan will be, is holy, or maybe just that part. God wanted that the Israeli land to be holy. And I think God wants all the earth to be holy. But maybe especially Israel. Israel is the middle of the center of the earth on the map. Something like that. And from there it begins to be holy, all the earth. And it really happened when Jesus came from there. And the Christianity was created. Okay, that was the chapter. They were circumcised again. It's like they made circumcision. It was like a contract between them and God, and they made all of them. So that contract is like for yourself, for each of the people, but like to be baptized. But there is a difference. The circumcision, they were they had not been circumcised, but they should circumcise their children after a few days of after they were born. But to be baptized, you should make your own vow, or between you and God, and that means to be mature. After that, the manna stopped. So why the manna stopped? It's like God is helping you very wow, but after you go to work and you find something to work, God is stopping giving you those things. And maybe you're thinking, wasn't it better before? It was not. It was just you needed that to arrive at the place, at the destination. And they arrived at the destination. They were not in the desert anymore, so they didn't need that anymore. And after that we saw the meeting Joshua with the commander of the army of the Lord. Who can be that if not Jesus Christ, or even God himself? Or I don't know, but I think because what he told to Joshua, it was exactly like what God told Moses when Moses meet the God for the first time on that fire. Okay, that was the chapter. May the God bless me, protect me, and delight me in the next chapter too. And if you want, yeah, that encouraged Joshua. That meeting with the commander of the Lord. Okay. That was the chapter. May the God bless me, protect me, and delight me in the next chapter too. And if he wants, you will see me there too. God bless you all and goodbye.